The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with your hosts Jim Allen and Mary Johnson.
Good morning and welcome to Simply Southern. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. Coming up on today's show, what's the best way to get a farmer to leave his land for a few days? Schedule an educational conference somewhere else. We'll go along to see what they're talking about.
Samantha Carpenter is off to camp, but it's a little different than one you may have attended as a child. Plus, Sidney Phelps has some hot stuff going into the oven. He'll show you a great way to prepare jalapenos fresh from the garden.
But today's show starts off in Birmingham to find out how a state university known for medical research may be breaking new ground in the world of seafood.
There's nothing quite like sitting down to a home-cooked meal with fresh vegetables from the garden. With Bonnie plants from your local quality co-op store, you can enjoy the freshest vegetables right from your own backyard. And no matter if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, your quality co-op store has exactly what you need to get the most out of your plants. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
Join the more than 350,000 families who can save money as members of the Alabama Farmers Federation. Members get discounts at local businesses and can save on GM cars and trucks, hotel stays, child car seats, and more. For about 50 cents a week, your family could save hundreds of dollars a year. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation and start saving today. Learn more at any Alpha Insurance office.
Today's farming operation is more complex than ever before, with precision agriculture becoming an integral piece to farm management. AccuField provides precision agriculture technologies and site-specific management capabilities in a simplified and interactive format, helping you put all the pieces of the farming puzzle together. For more information, visit us at www.accufield.com.
We all have busy lives. When my customers have a claim, I want to help them get things back to normal as quickly as possible. There's no better claim service out there, and that's one of the reasons I work for Alpha Insurance. And our Alpha to Go app is just one way we make it easy to get that service. Anytime, anywhere.
For the best agents in the business, call Alpha.
You probably won't find sea urchins on the menu at your local fish house. If you Google sea urchin, that little ball of bristles that pops up may look kind of like a bath sponge, but in some countries it's a sought-after culinary delight. You'd expect a story about strange sea animals to start at the coast, but this one begins in a lab, where they're finding out just how useful these unusual critters might prove to be. In the world of scientific research, the University of Alabama at Birmingham has a considerable reputation, and they have koosh balls. Actually, this little ball of wiggly bristles is a fairly common ocean dweller. Meet the sea urchin.
A sea urchin is roughly what we call an echinoderm, and that falls into the same group as starfish and sand dollars.
As an expert in the field of marine science, it's no surprise the sea urchin landed on Dr. Stephen Watt's sonar. But what began as a basic investigation of this spiny Gulf neighbor has grown into something more intriguing.
There were certain countries, Japan probably being the leader, where sea urchins were a delicacy. They had overfished the sea urchins within their various bays and the ocean right around them, and needed other types of sources of these sea urchins in order to use.
But folks, this isn't exactly the redneck Riviera catch of the day we're talking about here.
Most people who eat the sea urchin love to eat it raw. It has a shell, and they'll crack this shell and pull out what we know to be the gonads, and they simply call it roe. It has all the major components that give it what we call that umami characteristic, that full flavor characteristic.
It may not sound like a hit at your local fried fish house, but outside the South, it turns out sea urchins are in growing demand.
At one point in time, the state of Maine had over 10,000 jobs tied up in sea urchin fisheries alone. Currently, seafood markets that will sell sea urchin roe, it costs anywhere between probably $30 to $500 a pound.
And if we can grow fish and shrimp in a pond, could urchin farming be the next big thing in aquaculture? Well, after 15 years, Dr. Watts and his team have progressed from discovering if their sea urchins like to eat carrots to raising thriving tanks of the animals. And Birmingham's culinary elite were only too eager to test the results.
One of the chefs we've worked with here was Chef Chris Hastings. He's the owner of Hot and Hot and Ovenbird. I recall sending him an email, found his email and said, "Hello, my name is Steve Watts. We have some sea urchins. Would you have any interest in tasting these?" Within 30 minutes, I got a phone call from Chef Hastings saying, "Are you kidding me? You've got sea urchins in Birmingham, Alabama? This is not a joke?"
After stopping by the university for a thorough taste test, Chef Hastings declared that Dr. Watts' lab-grown urchins were some of the best he had had and quickly spread the word on social media. UAB has since piqued the attention of foodies worldwide. Hitting up a lab in Alabama for a sea urchin shows just how much demand is out there. But Dr. Watts points out being a pioneer in the urchin biz will come with some challenges.
It will probably take someone who is willing to take some chances to go out there and invest in a facility that's large enough so that they could produce enough urchins to make it economically viable. There's phenomenal examples out there right now of people who have undertook various aquaculture practices and they do very well. There's no reason we can't add a few more to that and then export these out and have an economic benefit for the state and those people who live here.
If you've ever watched the Travel Channel program Bizarre Foods, you may have seen Dr. Watts and his sea urchin research profiled on an earlier episode. For more news on the amazing variety of work going on at UAB, visit uab.edu/news.
It's definitely a perfect fit for Bizarre Foods because those things are some strange looking creatures.
Yeah, the undersides of an urchin looks like the Sarlacc pit on Star Wars. Kinda creepy, yet appetizing.
Okay, good to know. Up next, heading off to camp is a childhood summertime tradition. But for one Alabama summer camp, it's teaching tradition that's the goal. Samantha Carpenter has more after the break.
Alabama soybean farmers help fuel the state's economy. Soybeans are used to make clean, renewable biodiesel and are a key ingredient in feed for poultry, catfish, and livestock. Soybeans are used in dozens of products we use every day. But best of all, soybean farmers generate $258 million and more than 4,000 jobs for Alabama's economy, all while helping conserve our natural resources. Explore the power of soy.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
For nearly 50 years, the electric cooperatives of Alabama have been giving young people an opportunity to visit our nation's capital, where they learn about the value of electric cooperatives and the importance of grassroots advocacy. Top students join with thousands of others touring monuments, landmarks, and meeting with their congressional delegation. The Rural Electric Youth Tour program. Just one more way the electric cooperatives of Alabama are investing in the future of our state.
If you asked Alabama school children to draw what they ate for dinner last night, where would the food have come from? Was anything nutritious? Did it build muscles? Did it strengthen minds? Was the meal enough, or was it missed? Across Alabama, 1 in 4 children don't always know where their next meal will come from. But together, we're changing that. Join the movement to end child hunger in Alabama because every meal matters.
Nothing brings the family together like U.S. farm-raised catfish. American catfish farmers are dedicated to producing a premium, healthy catfish with a consistently mild, sweet flavor. Because we take as much pride in our work as you do in your cooking. From our family farms to your family's table, you can be sure you're getting the highest quality fish. Because your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Remember summer camp? I can close my eyes and still smell the bug spray. Those carefree days hiking in the woods and learning ridiculous songs around a roaring fire. It's a childhood tradition, and our state is built on traditions. This week, Samantha Carpenter explores a unique program that's taking advantage of this summertime rite of passage to broaden the horizons of a new crop of campers beyond just on top of spaghetti.
You couldn't ask for a prettier slice of Alabama than Camp McDowell. When summer rolls around, you'll find kids enjoying all of the usual activities the camp has to offer, but several of this year's campers are trying out a different take on their summer retreat, participating in Camp McDowell's first ever youth folk camp.
They're taking part in 2 different fiddle classes at different levels and abilities. We have a mandolin and guitar class. There's also pottery, farming, and also indigo dyeing.
The idea for the youth folk camp evolved from Camp McDowell's Alabama Folk School, a program offering instruction in a number of the arts traditional to our state.
In the past, we had a separate fiddle camp, a separate blacksmithing camp for kids, and also separate for guitar. But we realized we wanted to bring those all together. So many activities were done as a community, and so when we bring the larger group together, they're able to enjoy and appreciate those activities as a community.
While other campers are out on the lakes, these children are learning how to create pottery, producing truly vintage looks with time-honored plant-based dyes, feeding livestock, and harvesting crops on the farm. And while no day at camp is complete without singing a few songs, Youth Folk Camp takes it even further, teaching kids how to fiddle and strum in the old-time way.
The teacher plays the note and tell you the fingering, and you have to memorize the music, and every day we learn a new song.
The structure of a symphony orchestra is that you read music. The format of the folk school is that the instructor plays the song. Everyone's in a circle, and little by little people are grabbing onto the notes. That's so beneficial for our students who learn to work together.
While campers usually arrive with a particular interest in mind, the camp is structured to keep the week more of an experience than a class.
The way we designed this camp was you major in one of the arts, and then you pick your minor. Well, you don't even pick your minor until you're here. And so you could do your minor in farming, you could do your minor in pottery.
I did Fiddle 1 and I'm doing pottery. You can make a little necklace, you do a little container where you can put like candy and stuff.
Really what you're trying to do is just create a spark for them. You can't teach someone how to play the guitar in 3 days. It gives them the opportunity to learn about themselves.
And while learning takes center stage, there's still plenty of the summer camp community we're all familiar with.
There's swimming, hiking, paddle boating, and just enjoying the regular parts of camp community, so singing songs and developing friendships.
We had a talent show. There was one person that got up last night and played the guitar, and when he finished, the applause was, I could see it in his face that it was a life-changing thing for him. It was a life-changing thing for me to see it.
This sort of community learning is something all camp programs hope to foster. It's also a fundamental part of the Alabama Folk School's mission to preserve the artistic heritage of our state for a new generation of minds.
We know that Alabama has a rich tradition of folk art and music, but we're seeing that more and more that they're not being passed down anymore. And so we strive to provide opportunities for the artists and musicians who work in those areas to continue their craft and provide opportunities for children and adults to come and learn. So those traditions will continue.
For Simply Southern, I'm Samantha Carpenter.
They hope to add more programs, including ukulele instruction and even a class for aspiring blacksmiths.
You mean I could go there and become a ukulele playing blacksmith?
Absolutely. You could do that at Camp McDowell.
Oh, that would be great.
Uh-huh.
After the break, what do farmers do when they're not farming? They talk about farming. We'll take you to the closest thing to a vacation for many farmers when Simply Southern continues.
Alabama wheat and feed grain farmers grow food, fuel, and freedom. Their harvest helps feed Alabama's multi-million-dollar livestock, catfish, and poultry industries while reducing America's dependence on foreign countries for energy and food. By combining their strength with farmers of other commodities, feed grain growers are fueling the economic growth of Alabama communities.
Seriously?
Have some respect. Pick it up, man.
Did you just litter?
Take pride in your school. Pick it up, man.
Clean it up, dude.
Besides keeping your campus clean, adopt a mile with roadside cleanup. Attend the next Coastal Cleanup Day or pitch in on the annual Spring Cleanup campaign. Make a difference by picking up litter and
don't drop it on Alabama!
Support healthy food from local farmers. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation today. Since 1921, the Alabama Farmers Federation has been the voice of farmers and rural Alabama, standing up for family values, good government, low taxes, and economic opportunity. The Federation has helped make agriculture and forestry Alabama's largest industry, accounting for 1 in every 4 jobs. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation today at any local Alpha Insurance office.
Most people working in agriculture will tell you that being a farmer is not just what they do, it's who they are. For many growers, it's a 7-day-a-week job, so days off are few and far between. But as Kevin Worthington tells us, attending agricultural conferences is a way for producers to get off their own property for a few days of relaxation while keeping up to date on issues affecting their industry.
You would expect to find a peanut farmer here, but you might be surprised to find several hundred from all over the Southeast here. This summer, growers from Georgia, Mississippi, and Florida joined their Alabama colleagues to discuss issues related to growing peanuts and spend some time with the family in the sand.
When you ask the family, well, I have a meeting I need to go to, first thing they ask is where it's at, and when you tell them at the beach, they're like, can we go? We want to go. So it's a plus that you can come to the beach and learn about your business and actually do something to help your business while your family you can enjoy spending time with your family.
Most growers say price is their number one concern. From all-time highs 4 years ago, farmers have seen the prices they're paid for peanuts steadily drop. But experts say they expect that to turn around as adverse weather in other parts of the world opens up new markets for U.S. peanuts overseas.
Our exports to China have increased. Our Argentina is having a terrible time with their peanut harvest, which is going on right now due to rain, and that is opening up potentially some markets in Europe. We're already in Europe, but we may be able to expand our presence in Europe to help fill some of the demand over there.
Exports are going crazy right now. We're seeing numbers we've never seen before. We thought we were going to be in a position at the end of this marketing year where we were just going to have an abundance of peanuts, and we're actually in a position where we're better than we were last year. So a lot of positive things going on there.
Much of what's done on America's farms is tied directly to politics. The chairman of the House Agriculture Committee says it's important for growers to stay in touch with his colleagues in Congress and urged them to pass a new farm bill when it comes up for renewal in 2018.
We just got to do a good job of selling what's needed, why it's important. As I mentioned out there, it delivers the most affordable food and fiber supply of any developed nation to America's consumers. When that mom goes to the grocery store and she's got a limited budget, she's getting the best deal she can get anywhere in the world on the safest and most abundant array of food that's possible. And at its core, that's American production agriculture delivering the goods.
From farm policy to new technology designed to make farming more profitable and efficient, organizers say the number one benefit of attending conferences such as this one is networking with fellow farmers.
It gives you a chance to communicate with people who, not your next door neighbor. They may be in a totally different state, but to learn the issues that they're dealing with, how they're handling them, how they're addressing them, things that work for them that maybe you've never thought of, or just something that you've tried but hasn't worked, and just provides an opportunity to discuss and further your own education through discussion with others.
For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthington.
Agriculture is always changing, either politically or through research, so it's really important that producers go to these things.
Yes, for the continuing education, but it can be tough to get away from the farm, so this is a great opportunity for them to get re-energized and actually have a vacation.
Really. When we return, Sidney Phelps from Bonnie Plants has picked a peck of jalapeno peppers, and up next he's in the kitchen to show us a delicious way to prepare them.
I'm just like my customers. I work hard and I play hard. I also help my dad on the farm when I can. That's the great thing about Alpha. We work hard for our customers. It's more than price. It's personal attention and great claim service. Hey, bud.
For the best agents in the business, call Alpha.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
We believe a plant should be more than a plant. This one is. It's all you need for your garden to succeed. Because it's a Bonnie plant. It represents hundreds of varieties of Bonnie's quality veggies and herbs. But more, it's from generations of Bonnie people who are passionate about sharing their love of gardening with you. Look for this little Bonnie plant and a whole family of plants like it in your garden center. Bonnie Plants, so you'll know how to grow.
Hey folks, Sidney Phelps here with Bonnie Plants. Today we're back in the kitchen and we're working on a great favorite food of everybody's, jalapenos. Now this is something that you can do during tailgate season, during summer parties, making jalapeno poppers. Now today we're going to do some baked jalapeno poppers, but they work great on the grill as well. So first off, what we want to start is we want to combine all of our ingredients for our stuffing. So we're starting off with a cup of drained and rinsed black beans. So we're going to throw these in here. All right. I've got a half cup of cheddar cheese, Monterey Jack, whatever you prefer. You want something that's going to melt really good. Mozzarella does well, but we're going to throw this in there. So that's a half cup of freshly grated sharp cheddar cheese. We're going to throw in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. We've got that, and we're going to do 2 tablespoons of minced onion. So we've got onions, we've got our garlic. Now, to add a little bit of a smoky flavor to it, we're going to add some chili powder and some cumin. So I've got just a teaspoon of these. So we're going to throw that in there. And then there's our chili powder. So we basically just want to take a spoon and we want to mix all of this stuff in really good together. Now, sour cream, we'll add it on at the end after they come out of the oven. But you want to get everything blended in really well. Now, we'll get this mixed up and we're going to set it to the side here and talk about our jalapenos. Now, when you're doing jalapeno poppers, a couple things you really need to be concerned with and you need to be focused on. First off, if you don't handle heat very well on your skin, you want to probably wear gloves. Do not touch your eyes. I know this sounds normal, but a lot of times folks forget whenever they're working with these, they're liable to touch their eyes or whatnot. So take a sharp knife, cut off the head of the pepper. You can just discard that. And what we're going to do here is we're going to half it. So we're halving our pepper. Now you've got basically the ribs. Now in the ribs is where the seed and all the capsaicin is, but in order to do stuffed peppers, you've got to remove this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our spoon and we're just going to run it right through the vein of the pepper, and that pops right out. So we're going to put that to the side. So once we've done that, we'll bring in our mix and we'll start stuffing. So we're just going to throw this in there. You can do it by hand, we're just using the spoon. But as you can see, we've got our jalapeno poppers ready to be stuffed. Now, we've got a lot of here that we're going to put together. So we're gonna throw a couple more here. I'm just gonna use my hands and just throw that right on the pepper. Now I've got my oven right now preheated to about 400 degrees. So that's gonna get us a quick crisp on this, almost sear them in. But you can do this on the grill. You can throw them on the grill, let them get on a hot grill at about 400 or 500 degrees. They're gonna char up really nicely and they'll go through. So let's get these wrapped up. These will cook for about 10 minutes. So if you're wondering about your time on that. But we're gonna throw these in the oven. They're gonna cook for 10 minutes, get a nice crisp on them. When they come out, we're gonna add a little bit of sour cream over them. You may wanna have some ranch dressing whenever you get ready, but this is a great recipe that you can try at home with you and your family. So if you want to find out more about this, check out our website at bonnieplants.com or go to the app Homegrown with Bonnie Plants.
When you add bacon and cream cheese to almost any kind of recipe, I think you're doing something right.
I'm not much with spicy foods. Just seeing those peppers makes my nose run.
Oh goodness, yeah, we don't want that flavor mixed in.
No.
For more recipes or gardening questions, check out bonnieplants.com. You can also ask Sydney a question directly by dropping him an email at simplysouthern@alafarm.com. He may answer it on an upcoming show.
For more information on this week's featured stories, check out their websites. Besides sea urchins, UAB is breaking ground with research in a number of areas. For more information, visit uab.edu/news.
CampMcDowell.com has information on the Alabama Folk School Camp and other educational programs they provide. And farmers can check out the calendar of events at alphafarmers.org for continuing education opportunities that could also double as a few days away from the farm.
If you're following the Simply Southern Facebook page, you're staying up to date with what's happening here at the show. And you can visit our website at simplysouthern.tv.net to view previous shows. I hope you'll be back with us again next Sunday morning when we'll tour a facility that's keeping Alabama wild by treating injured birds and then releasing them.
Plus, we'll visit a garden that's helping county jail inmates not only eat better, but hopefully live better. Thanks for watching Simply Southern this week. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. We'll look forward to seeing you again next Sunday morning.
Simply Southern is a production of the Alabama Farmers Cooperative and the Alabama Farmers Federation.